We have a question from Peter, which is a different direction here. I work in an emotionally demanding vocation. We have a couple of young boys at home and 40 is around the corner. I work out the 6 basic movements and get in my steps. I think Peter's referring to the 6 kettlebell movements, the snatch, the clean, the swing, the Turkish get-up, the squat family, and the press family. How can I purposely build emotional resilience and mental strength as part of my exercise in life? I want to be strong in every sense for those I serve, and especially for the family that depends on me. Peter, you're there. You're doing a couple of things that already get you there. First, whenever I hear anybody talk about, these, mental toughness things and all this stuff, and it's funny, when I think about the longevity books I look at, exercise is always primary. And the fact that you do the base, and the fact you said the basic 6 makes me happy, and you get your walking in. I've been in situations in my life, and I would say from 2019 to 2022, 23 were as emotionally difficult in my life as any period of my life. And that's saying something, considering some of the things I've done and seen in my life. But the thing that kept me balanced, Peter, was exercise. The thing that kept me grounded was exercise. The thing that helped me relax the most was exercise. Listen, therapy is wonderful, and I think the world of it. Writing in a journal is amazing, and I think the world of it. Having a great cohort of friends, and I certainly do, is very helpful, and I think it's wonderful. But getting out there and getting, doing the basic 6, as you said, and get the walks in, that seems to really, the physical really helps with my emotional. Now, as I say that, I'm not sure that every listener who's struggling with emotional issues is going to say, okay, I'm going to jumping jack or burpee my way to happiness. I don't think that's true. But I'm going to add this to you, Peter. There's been a ton of studies on happiness, and the answer to happiness, and I know I'm moving just a little bit away from what you asked, but the answer to happiness almost universally is doing something for somebody else. And the fact that you're thinking about your kids, you're thinking about your emotionally demanding job, your emotional resiliency and mental strength, exercise is going to be foundational in helping you along the way. Also, too, when you exercise, you role model for your children about the importance of exercise, and that is one of the great gifts you can give them. As I'm speaking today, my daughter Lindsay is, well, you really can't say, you can't add adverbs to the word pregnant, but she's extremely pregnant right now, okay? And even so, she's still out exercising every day. My daughter Kelly exercises every day, and it makes me proud. And I feel that we modeled that behavior for them. When it comes to your emotionally demanding vocation, I don't want you to turn yourself into, you don't need a YouTube channel of you smashing your face into a wall, or, winning a marathon the day after you won a triathlon, the day after you climbed the Himalaya mountains, the day after you swam across the Atlantic Ocean. You can also model emotional resiliency by showing up, being there for others, and trying to make a difference. Peter, I don't know if that's the answer you wanted to hear, but to me, that's the first step to mental toughness. I've read a lot of books about the mental side of things, but there's 2 things to sum here that I think are most important. It's what Coach Mon told me at our first meeting, our first team meeting. Make yourself a slave to good habits. And Peter, good habits, good training lead to good systems. The best in any field I've ever worked with were always masters of the fundamentals. You do the fundamentals over and over and over again, and that makes you competent. So for me, when we're going to talk about long-term emotional resiliency. If you have to wake up every day and use a whole bunch of mental effort to remember to floss versus what I do, I keep my floss sticks in my car and there's a bowl of them in every bathroom in my whole home. It's real easy for me to floss because it's right there. So I would suggest thinking as a final thing is to start working on your systems in your home. It was interesting, as I'm typing, the month just changed and I pulled out my monthly to-do list. I have a to-do list for every month. And I went around yesterday in probably 15 minutes and did everything I had to do for this month. It's now out of my mind. I know that the filters on my heaters and air conditioners are all clean. My car is registered. Didn't take any time at all. It's a pretty simple month. Some months I'll have 7, 8, 9 items I need to do, and I knock those out. That's my system for staying ahead of everything. And I want you to think about that. Exercise, making yourself a slave to good habits, and then systems to support those good habits. Thank you, Peter. I hope I helped you.